In summer of 2022, the world was shaken by an anime that charmed the hearts of everyone. It made almost $24 million without even releasing the anime, Spy X Family. What is the story of this success that has become what it is today? My name is S.Lynks, and let's talk anime. Let's go back to the year 2000. A young man named Tatsuya Endo, in his early 20s, inspired by works of Toriyama, Nishimori, and Mochizuki, started his own career like all his heroes. A mangaka. I can't remember exactly, but my older brother loved reading the manga magazine Jump, so of course I read along with it as a child. When a friend of my brother suddenly started drawing manga, my brother tried it too. Then I started doing it myself. I didn't learn to draw in a particular way. I also tried the entrance exam at an art college, but my basis consists of drawing mangas. So I taught myself everything. Quick question, do you know the process of becoming a mangaka? If you already know, you're a weeb, just like me, go on to the next chapter. If not, stay for this culture chat. I'll try to be brief, I promise. The inspiring mangaka has to own a one-shot and submitted it to a manga magazine. Then, after someone has carefully inspected their work, there are three outcomes: serialization, rejected, or they just can't grind them, meaning they can use their skills to help great mangakas as an assistant until they can prove themselves by winning a manga award and submitting once again a new one-shot for serialization. It depends the case, but it's normally like this. So in the first 2 years of Endo's career, he presented 3 one-shots, which did not have a great reception. So it was then when he started working as an assistant in many works, including making art for some light novels. It was not until 2007 when he got his very first serialization, Tista and Gekan Bijin. One thing everyone loves about Spy X Family is its wholesome story. The developments between each of the family members, the comic relief of some of the silly situations, along with some action scenes, makes the perfect mix for wholesomeness. Well, what if I told you it wasn't meant to be like that from the beginning? At first, Endo's style was aggressive, with mature stories for an older audience, and you can see it in Tista, his first serialization. A serial killer named Tista is terrorizing the inhabitants of New York with his sniper rifle, and that's our protagonist. Yeah, that's not wholesome, but it wasn't successful enough to maintain a serialization. The pacing was off, and the plot was not clearly developed. However, the art wasn't bad. The characters were not utterly lifeless, and the author was okay at creating mood. Again, it was one of his first works. He has clearly developed his ability in storytelling as seen in Spy X Family. And with Gekan Bijin, it was the same story. Great concept, but predictable, slow, and a big cliché. Interestingly, here you can start to recognize some of the early concept characters for Spy X Family. But with Gekan Bijin being a failure, he set out to be an assistant once again. Because one thing Endo is really good at is precisely his art. And I'm sure a lot of people in the industry realized that and thought it was a shame to waste that talent if he stopped pursuing manga. Let's go back to the year 2009. Between the time Tista finished and before Gekan Bijin started, Endo helped 2 great mangakas who started relevant manga in that same year. Just maybe you can recognize these mangas: Blue Exorcist and Attack on Titan. Can't you believe that? The man who made the most wholesome story of 2022 worked in Attack on Titan, one of the most important and relevant mangas that have ever existed, and Endo was working as an assistant. Yeah, here's the shade of Eren being eaten alive that you ask. Now, let me focus designing this cute girl. And this was only the beginning. Grab your seats because this is going to be pretty intense. From 2012 to 2018, he worked on a manga called Dolly Kill Kill, where Endo met Yusuke Nomura, the same illustrator of Blue Lock. Then he moved on to Fire Punch, created by the same guy who made Chainsaw Man. That's right, Tatsuki Fujimoto. And while working under his wing, he met another assistant named Yuji Kaku, who then created Hell's Paradise, where Endo later worked on that same manga, just to come back and help illustrate Blue Lock, whom he had already met from the very beginning. We are talking about how this person worked on mangas that will soon become relevant and important as an anime later on: Fire Punch, Hell's Paradise, and Blue Lock. Plus, he had already worked on other big ones such as Attack on Titan and Blue fucking X. His experience as an assistant was incredible and allowed him to develop his skills as a storyteller, which were reflected in the 3 one-shots that define Spy X Family. Oh hi, I'm here doing 100 push-ups to become a hero just like Saitama, but you can be a hero too! Just give it a like and subscribe for more content like this. Check out the channel, I do interesting stuff. Thank you very much. Working with great authors for at least 7 years made him grow considerably. But he didn't just wait for an idea to come out of nowhere. In those 7 years, he made 3 of the most important one-shots of his career. Rengoku no Ashe, a story in which a young man called Bell meets a girl who heals his wound. Shortly after, he realizes that she has been a witch all along. Then, she is judged for being a witch. But the young man tries to reveal to the world that not all witches are evil. This one-shot is important, since it is one of the first times Endo experimented with a wholesome ending rather than a tragic one. And it is also where the concept of Anya was born. I made the ending unusually cheerful, and I think it was fairly well received. The reaction to Belle's good-naturedness was not bad, and I thought, I had thought that Belle was a failure. I really just adapted the design without thinking about it, just because of the similarity of their abilities. The design of Anya is almost the same as that of Ashe, only simplified. Here's the name of the second one. It's too long, man. A story in which a tough knight encounters the worst of enemies. A kid. Well, a kid who is a monster. And basically, the story unfolds as he tries to protect her and treat her like family. This one-shot develops the capabilities of romantic comedy as well as wholesome, as it develops the interaction between father and daughter as a family, and the concept of children, something Endo never had interest in. I had no interest in drawing children before, so this is the work that inspired me to try drawing a small child character. In other words, without this work, Anya from Spy X Family might not have been born. And the last one, I Spy. A story about how a spy in Japan takes an apprentice by mistake to transform her into a spy as well. Practically, this was the one-shot that gave life to Spy X Family. Both the theme and the genre with new refined characters shaping what we know today. I think it's not fair to give him all the credit. Well, yes, he's the author and illustrator, but his editor was also part of this journey. He worked with him almost from the beginning. He was practically his mentor and the one who believed in him the most. Thanks to Shihei-Lin, Endo was able to work with great mangakas who improved his storytelling skills and mentor him as teachers. The combination of all of this, including the character concepts that were worked on for several years, along with the theme and development between the characters, was how Spy X Family was born, and the results were shown 2 years after its first chapter. Spy X Family ranks as the 14th best-selling media franchise in Japan of 2021, earning over $24 million from just being a manga. Now that it has become an anime, the amount of merchandise that has been released in just the last few months is immense. And not only that, is that you practically see it everywhere you go. That just shows you how great this story is. It even got adapted faster than some of its mentors did. Blue Lock is going to premiere next season as well as Chainsaw Man, and Hell's Paradise just has been announced, and they have shown their appreciation and support for the manga in many ways. All these 20 years of hard work have come just now. With Endo Sensei, we have a good level of closeness with one another. We can be direct with each other. We rely on each other. It's not just that we just simply get along. Endo Sensei treats me with decency. We know each other for over 10 years now, and yet the vibe is the same as when we first met. I love for it to stay this way forever. Well, that's the end of the video. All the interviews are going to be linked in the description, and if you enjoyed the video, give it a like and why don't you subscribe? My name is S.Lynks, and I'll see you in the next one.